Kuwait and Bahrain, calling it flagrant violation of the sovereignty of the sisterly states and dangerous escalation that threatens the security and stability of the Gulf region and the whole region. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Egyptian expatriates, Egypt affirmed its full support for Kuwait and Bahrain in confronting the attack, expressing its steadfast solidarity with the Kuwaiti and Bahraini peoples. Details follow.
Egypt strongly condemned the Iranian missile and drone attacks targeting Kuwait and Bahrain, describing them as a violation of the two countries' sovereignty and a dangerous escalation that threatened the security and stability of the Gulf region and the broader Middle East. In a statement issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Egypt expressed its full solidarity with Kuwait and Bahrain and reaffirmed its support for all measures taken by both countries to safeguard their security, protect their territories, and defend vital infrastructure. Cairo reiterated that the security and stability of the Gulf states were an essential component of Arab national security, stressing its firm rejection of any actions that undermine state sovereignty or threaten territorial integrity. The condemnation came as Kuwaiti authorities reported that air defense systems had intercepted incoming missile and drone attacks. The Kuwaiti army stated that explosions heard in certain areas resulted from successful interception operations carried out by its air defense units. Meanwhile, the Bahraini Defense Force announced that Iranian missile and attacks had targeted civilian areas in the kingdom, describing the strikes as a continued act of aggression against Bahrain. The Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed the responsibility for attacks on Ali Al Salam Air Base in Kuwait and facilities linked to the U.S. Fifth Fleet in Bahrain, saying the strikes were carried out in response to reported attacks on Kash and Sirik Islands. According to U.S. Central Command CENTCOM, American forces intercepted multiple Iranian ballistic missiles and drones launched towards Gulf countries and the Strait of Hormuz on June 5th. CENTCOM stated that Iran fired 7 ballistic missiles towards Kuwait and Bahrain after U.S. forces had previously shot down 4 Iranian drones.
And to shed more light on the recent developments in Iranian and Israeli war, we are joined over the phone by Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
So, sir, how do you assess the current situation in the region following the recent attacks on Kuwait and Bahrain?
It is a very complicated situation.
Yes.
Because 1 year ago, our Foreign Minister Badr Abdullah was refused the proposal of President Biden, the late President of the United States, Biden, when he proposed that we establish a pact against Iran.
Yes.
And our official position was that Iran, after all, is an Islamic-friendly country, but it's not the enemy at all. The enemy is one who is occupied our land and killed our children. Now we were forced to condemn the Iranian attacks against some Arab countries. Of course, they do not mean to attack the Arab countries, but they are keen to attack the American bases in those Gulf States countries. But we have to face this, and we condemn these attacks because after all, it hits some Arab targets, it kills some Arab brother citizen, even an Egyptian was killed because of these attacks. So it is a highly complicated situation between considering Iran since 1 year as a very friendly Islamic country, now condemning what Iran is doing. But anyway, coming to Kuwait, this is not the first time that Egypt declaring and moving its forces to protect Kuwait. Our army went to Kuwait twice in our history. Once during the time of President Nasser, when Kuwait was independent for the first time, because the president of Iraq, Abdel Arif, he declared that Kuwait is a part of Iraq. Then the Egyptian army went there to protect their border, and thank God that it was a very good move. Later on, the Egyptian army and 36 other armies went to protect Kuwait against Saddam Hussein and the Iraqi army invasion of Kuwait. And to see that when they came to liberalize the city of Kuwait itself, between the 36 armies, they choose the Egyptian army in order to enter the city of Kuwait, because this is the most acceptable face among all the armies engaged there. So since then, it's quite obvious that we will not hesitate at all to go even by force, even by our army, to protect Kuwait. Now we are ready, as our president promised, that we are ready to protect any Gulf country wherever it is under attack.
So, sir, does that mean that the conflict was expanding in the Gulf region? And how would that development, along with targeting an Omani port, affect the energy markets?
Yes, it is part of this complication of the situation, because Iran wants to answer to the American attack. And as America is too far from the missiles of Iran, so they are attacking the American base in the Gulf states. The side effect of this, that they are attacking at the same time some Arab targets which we refuse at all, and we want to differentiate between the attack of the United States and the answer of Iran, because it hits also Arab countries which we refuse totally to accept.
So, sir, also, how does the new exchange of fire with Iran in the Gulf test the fragile ceasefire, and how do you see the future of negotiations?
Generally I'm optimistic, but in this situation I'm not. Why? Yes. Because there are three parties on the enemy side which are against stopping the war. First of all, that the Prime Minister of Israel is requested by the International Court of Law and the International Court of Crimes. Even he is requested by the juridical system of his own country. So if the war stops, he will go to jail immediately. It's number one. Number two, the president of the largest country in the world, who is hesitating, saying something and doing another in just few hours. So it is a matter of his personal interest to continue the war.
Yes.
The third party is the industry of weapons, because they sold weapons in the last 2 years in our area by $7 trillion, as it was announced lately. So they want to sell more and more weapons, so it is in their interest to continue this war, whether in our area or others. And it's not me who realized this. The United States President Dwight Eisenhower, in his last speech in the Congress, he warns against the impact of the industry of armament on the decision maker on political situation.
Yes.
Because the armament industry needs those wars to continue in order to sell more and more of those arms.
Yes, I'd like to thank you, Ambassador Gamal Bayoumi, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for being with us. And the viewers, the short break will be back after the top stories, so stay tuned.